The Apple credit card is finally out. I just saw the commercial. It's one of the best pieces of tech that I've ever seen in my life. It's so great. It's so good. If you haven't signed up yet, well, you can't yet. You have to wait until the summer. I recommend you actually go and travel into the future to actually sign up now while you actually still can. Guys, I'm being sarcastic, okay? I was very hyped when I saw the entire trailer, probably like you were. But after I did some research, I kind of settled down and I'm kind of calming down now, right back to reality. So in this video, we're actually going to talk about around 10 things going around in the Apple card. Yeah, 10 things. I have it all written down in my hand right here. But we're going to talk about these 10 things that's actually going on with this Apple credit card that everyone is so gassed up about. But in reality, I don't think it might be that great. But I also don't think it's as bad as people are actually saying it is. Like, for example, I saw Graham's video. I read an article at The Verge and a whole bunch of other things. And people are saying that it's not that great, it's not that good. But in reality, I don't know what people expect from Apple. Apple does this all the time. So, by the way, I'm a complete hypocrite because I have an iPhone, so don't expect anything from me because I'm not gonna be out here like act like I'm an angel or anything like that, right? So let's talk about it. The first thing I want to talk about what's new about this Apple card, right? Because every time Apple releases some product, for example, back in 2002, when I think it's 2002, right? Back in 2002, 2001, when they released the iPhone, it was like, oh my gosh, they have so much new stuff, right? So with this Apple card, obviously there was gonna be some new features that were already made before, but the Apple people just like put it together in a card and they're calling it brand new and innovative and stuff like that. And guys, I'm sorry, I can't take this video seriously. I'm sorry, right? But I promise, like, I don't have anything bad to say about the card, at least not yet. First of all, the new features involve, for example, they're making a credit card. I can't show you guys my credit card, but imagine that this is a credit card, right? So they're making a credit card now. It doesn't have any numbers, just your name, no CVS at the back. So really, I like that feature. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm not gonna make a joke about it because I've learned a lot. I like that feature because a lot of people's grandmas and a lot of people that like their parents and stuff like that, they've been jacked off. For example, I know people's grandmothers that have actually gone to places, given them their cards. The people hold on to it for like a whole minute, take pictures of it, and then return it back, and then have a whole bunch of online transactions on that poor grandma's like account. So I know people that get jacked up all the time by cloning cards. So Apple, I'm not joking around this when I say this. That's actually a very good feature and it's actually very innovative. It's like the first time that anything like this happened, and I wouldn't be surprised if it become like the industry standard. The second thing I want to talk about, Apple is actually revolutionizing how a credit card works, because every time you spin that little dial, it shows you how much money it's gonna take for you to actually pay no interest down. By the way, every credit card does this, bro. Every single card out there actually does this. For example, if I go on my debit card, my credit card, if I go on my credit card, right, it tells me the closing balance. If I pay off that closing balance before the balance closes, like the statement closes, I get zero interest. That's how it works. But with the Apple one, you have software around this, so it's kind of a little bit more like interfacey. So it's actually very better, I guess, but it's basically the same thing that everyone's been doing for a long time. And by the way, you might say that's stupid or that's a dumb joke, or you just need to like learn more about how credit cards work. But in reality, think about this, right? Back in the days when people had computers, they literally had to like type in codes to actually make things work. Now we just scroll and double click and that's it. We have a program opening up. So I do see how this works, and I do see how it might be easier. And that's what Apple always does. It actually innovates things that already exist, but actually makes it better in like little small ways. The second thing that the third thing I want to talk about is basically with this Apple card, you'll be able to actually generate credit card numbers to actually do one-time purchases. What does this mean, Tommy? What does this mean? So for example, if me, mister, you probably don't know me, and I make this website and I'm selling like, for example, I'm selling like needles, right? And these needles cost like $100, but you don't trust me. You don't know if it might, like, imagine like a Soulja Boy thing, like the Soulja Boy like products. So Soulja Boy has products, but you don't know and you don't trust him, right? So you might just want to use one of the generated credit card numbers. It'll go through, you'll buy the product, it'll charge your card, but if that person that you don't trust tries to charge your card again for anything else, it won't go through because you use a generated card. You know, so that number isn't gonna go through. It only works once. And by the way, you're probably saying, oh my gosh, Tommy, that's so new. But like I said before, it's not new. They don't make new stuff, bro. They just take things and actually make it better. The Capital One card already does that. Second, there's an app called Privacy that already does that also. But Apple is actually integrating it inside of the wallet app. So that's actually very better and easy to use. So like I said before, there's nothing new. There's nothing new out there, bro. It's just making it a little bit better and a little bit like fancier. Let's talk about the perks, right? Because that's really why everyone is kind of mad with the perks that the Apple card is actually offering. Every single person out there is telling me, Tommy, I'm not going to sign up for this because I'm not getting enough perks. So for example, Apple is telling you that if you buy anything at the Apple store, I buy this iPhone, I get 3% back. 3% of $1,000 I think is like $30, so I get a $30 discount, which is not that great. But it's 3% for products that I buy on Apple, 2% if I use Apple Pay anywhere else, like anywhere in the world. Like it doesn't matter what I do, it's 2%. If I use my card, the card without the numbers, then I get 1%, right? And it's not that great. And the reason that it's not that great is because people are comparing it to the Amazon card, the Discover card, the Citi, I think what is it? The Capital One double cash card that gives you 2%. Amazon gives you 5% on their products, and then Discover gives you 5% on gas, groceries, and even Amazon every now and then, because it's like constantly going back and forth. So you're probably saying, Tommy, if I have better options, why would I go with the Apple card? I don't know why you would go with the Apple card. It's just because maybe it's Apple or something like that. But in reality, it's not that good, man. I'm telling you, there's nothing new about this card. The third thing I want to talk about is the fees and the APR, right? The APR is between 13% to 24%. Tommy, that's not that new. It's been going on for a while. Like, what's so different about it? There's nothing different about it. It's between 13 to 24%, depending on what your credit score is, bro. Nothing new about it. It's been going on for a while. Now, the fees are something that are a little bit more complex. Tell me, what do you mean it's a little bit more complex? Well, I say it's complex because in reality, it's zero fees. But in reality, it's zero like initiative to actually pay off your credit like on time. Because, for example, right, if I have like a credit card due, right, I pay it off as soon as I can because I don't want to get hit with a fee, right? But with this credit card that Apple is making, there's no fees, right? So if I go 2 days without paying or 3 days without paying, it's fine, right? It's fine. There's no fee. But in reality, you're going to have to be paying interest on those days that are accrued. And by the way, if you don't know something, right, interest is accrued on a daily basis on every single credit card out there, okay? So if you go 3 days without paying, you're still going to be charged interest on that. So don't think that late fees are like this big thing that are saving your life or something like that, because it's just like another initiative to what you would want to pay your credit card. Now, the fourth thing, right, and I said I was going to talk about 10 things, but I keep mumbling on. I'm kind of like just going over my entire list in like one sentence, right? The fourth thing I want to talk about is exclusivity, right? For example, if you sign up for the card, you can only sign up for it like with an iPhone. Tommy, is this going to change? I think it will. And why I'm saying this, because like the Apple card isn't just only an Apple product. And trust me, they probably could have just making an Apple product, but I don't know why they did it. Maybe like a liability thing. But in reality, if you sign up for this card, you're doing business with Apple, Goldman Sachs, and also MasterCard. MasterCard processes the payments, and then Goldman Sachs gives you the money, I guess, right? And in reality, by the way, you guys know, like I just said, right? Like Goldman Sachs and like MasterCard, right? So for example, if there's a breach inside of the Apple card or anything like that, Apple is not going to be held liable, but the Goldman Sachs people are. And I think The Verge reached out to the Goldman Sachs to actually confirm this, but they're not responding. They don't want to respond to this, and it's probably because they have like a confidentiality. You guys don't know what I'm saying. It's like a secret, right? It's a secret. Okay, guys. And the last thing I do want to talk about are expectations, right? And Tommy, what do you mean by this? I mean that every single person out there has some expectations about the Apple card, but every single person out there had no idea that the Apple was actually going to release anything like this. So I don't know where their expectations are actually coming from, because I don't expect anything less from Apple, because Apple has always done this. You might want something, but Apple doesn't give it to you because they think they have a better idea than you do. So for example, I read on The Verge, right? There was an article on this entire Apple card, and someone mentioned out there that Apple should have changed the entire credit card game by like offering 0% APR. And I was like, are you stupid? Like, how can a company offer 0% APR? Like, who the hell is gonna like do that? Like, for example, now, don't get me wrong. For example, right? Apple could have done one thing differently, right? Which is, for example, if I wanted to buy like a MacBook or like an iPhone or anything like that, they could have said like, well, if you buy that, you also get 5% cash back, 5%, not 3%, 5% cash back, and on top of that, you get 6 months to 18 months to actually pay it off, zero interest. That would have been good, right? That would have been great. And I think one of the reasons they didn't do that yet, it's probably because they have a deal with Barclays credit card that if you sign up for a Barclays credit card, you can actually get the exact same deal that I'm telling you. They give you, I think, 3% cash back, well, 3% points or anything like that, and they also give you 18 months to pay it off depending on the price that you actually paid for the item. So it might be coming back in the future. And by the way, Apple might change its mind, just like they did about the small phones and made big phones now. So it might change its mind, and they might actually offer better like percentages and stuff like that. So it's up to you if you want to wait and see what happens. But for me personally, you're probably asking me, Tommy, are you going to sign up for it or are you not going to sign up for it? In reality, I'm not going to sign up for it, but I might sign up for it. And the reason is because when it comes to credit cards, right, you're basically like going into debt and you want the best deal to go into debt and you want to take advantage of the points and everything that are going to be offered to you. But Apple isn't really the best competition out there, so it's not really the best option for me. I might just stick with the Amazon card, Discover card, maybe the Chase Freedom card, and also like the Sapphire card. Like, all these cards are great cards, and the Apple card is not really the best one out there. Now, one last thing I do want to mention before I go, guys, is that I really like the initiative Apple has taken to actually force Apple Pay into businesses, because offering 2% rather than 1%, there are going to be a lot of people out there going to be asking like, hey, why don't you have Apple Pay? Get Apple Pay. And a lot more businesses are going to require to get Apple Pay, right? And when they get Apple Pay, it just doesn't come with Apple Pay, but it also comes with Samsung Pay, Google Pay, or whatever pay it is. But Apple Pay, Google Pay, Samsung Pay, whatever pay it is more secured than using a card, because you don't run the risk of your card being cloned. You don't run the risk of your card being taken pictures of or people using it. So I like that entire initiative, guys. I like Apple. I like what they do, and I do think that they will be offering better things out there like very soon, because they're always like innovating things out, right? And I like a lot of the features on it. So I might say I might not get it now, but maybe in a few months I might get it. I don't know yet. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. If you like anything I have to say, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe, and leave me a comment and let me know what other card you might want to get rather than this card. If you have any recommendations, and if you want to see any video, just leave a comment down there and I'll make sure I get it done. I'll see you guys in the next video, and peace.
You've got to start